The other thing that I find interesting is how the Republican Party has basically become a racket. I mean, you've got people in the Republican Party who are running for president, not because they actually intend, not because they even think they have any chance at all of becoming president. Carly Fiorina, I mean, she couldn't even become senator from California. She's got no chance. But she's trying to burnish her brand, right? Ben Carson, no chance. I mean, he's a Fox News phenomena. In fact, he's a regular on Fox News, and this is, outside of people who watch Fox News, most people have no idea who Ben Carson is. I didn't till a month or so ago. But he's been, he's a retired surgeon. He's an African American, and he's a right winger who loves to say things pretty bad, pretty nasty about Obama. And so over on Fox News, they're just embracing him. And so Fox News set up what looks to me like a scam. Now, there's all these scams going on in the right wing world, right? If you have signed up for any of the Republican candidates, if you've given any of them even $3, even $5, you're on the list. And the list gets sold from group to group to group to group to group, right? So that you'll be buried with emails and phone calls and letters and things asking you for money. In some cases by the candidates. And as Stephen Colbert, pointed out back years ago when he started his super PAC, remember that? Stephen Colbert started a super PAC, and he had his lawyer on, and he said, okay, we're going to raise $1 million for our super PAC. If I lose the election, what happens to that $1 million? And the lawyer says, you get to keep it. Or words to that effect. I mean, there are some slight restrictions on it, but, Sarah Palin has been playing this game. She raised, I think, $20 million for her super PAC? When she wasn't even running for anything? It's like, it's a scam. And there's also a whole bunch of right-wing scams of, save the veterans and, stop Iran and help Israel. And there's a whole bunch of them that have been outed. I mean, there's this MediaMatters.org did a great piece back in December of 2012. And the title is Conservative Media One Big Racket? And it really is. So you've got all these hustlers, but now Fox News comes along with the ultimate hustle. How does Fox News make money? Selling advertising, right? And so, and one of the problems that they have is that their demographic is, the average age of people watching Fox News is in the neighborhood of 70 years old. And so the advertisers that they get are not the high-priced, fancy schmancy advertisers. Instead, they get ads for, the modern-day equivalent of Geritol for things like, catheters and Viagra and whatnot. So what they need, they'd love some more national advertising, right? So they say to the Republicans, it used to be New Hampshire and Iowa and South Carolina and Super Tuesday in the South, they picked the front runners for the Republican presidential nomination. And everybody agreed that was kind of a cool thing because Iowa and New Hampshire are, in addition to being relatively conservative states, so it's appropriate for the Republicans, are also small states. This would be like if the Democratic primary was first in Vermont, but the Republicans got ahead of this game, right? And they basically run the game. But as small states, the candidates can do retail politics. They can actually show up, shake hands, get to know people, make their case, and that's a reasonably good filter. But Fox News said, okay, there's 20 people running for president on the Republican side, declared and undeclared, or as yet undeclared. And we're only going to have 10 of them on the debate stage. And the 10 we're going to pick are the 10 who have the highest numbers in the national polls. Now, why did Fox say the national polls rather than the polls in New Hampshire and Iowa? Because the candidates now have to reach the national audience of Republicans. And there's really, only two ways to reach the national Republican audience. The least effective is to buy advertising on right-wing talk radio. I mean, it's effective, but it's not as effective as the most effective, which is to buy advertising on Fox News. So you've got, these candidates like Chris Christie who are way back in the behind. And Chris Christie now is beating his chest saying, I'm going to sue President Obama over this Iran deal. Really? He's only doing it to get in the headlines. Rick Perry, the former governor of Texas, and kind of, verbal stumblebum, way behind in the polls, very little chance he'll be one of the top 10. So what does he do? He makes a very public announcement that he's going to kiss Donald Trump's Trump. And does so, right? And he goes and he meets with Donald Trump, and Trump is like, I don't know why he wants to see me. I mean, it's nice that he wants to see me, but I don't know why I'll tell you why he wants to see you. He wants to get his face on national television. He wants to be interviewed on Morning Joe. He wants to be, which he was this morning. He wants to be all over Fox News because he's come to the realization that no matter how many trips you make to Iowa and New Hampshire, it's not going to get you in the debate. And the Fox News debate is the first debate. Now, the Manchester Union leader has rolled one out 3 days earlier, but that's, it's going to be relatively inconsequential. Probably because Fox won't cover it, or they won't cover it the way that they're going to cover their own debate. They're going to promote their own debate. So what are these candidates doing now? Their super PACs are starting to buy advertising on Fox so-called news. It's a scam. The whole thing is a scam. Mike Huckabee wants to sell books and raise his speaking fees. John Kasich wants to get reelected governor of Ohio by looking presidential. It elevates your stature. Half these people are not seriously running for president. I misspoke. Let me correct myself. It wasn't Rick Perry who went to kiss Donald Trump's Trump. It was Ted Cruz. There are so many of them. I can't keep them straight. And they're both from Texas. So, but see, Rick Perry is playing the same game. He's just doing the other side of it. Rick Perry and Ted Cruz are both in a situation where their national polling numbers are so low that they won't get into the Fox scam debate. And so they needed to get themselves in the headlines. So Rick Perry got himself in the headlines by attacking Donald Trump, and Ted Cruz got himself in the headlines by kissing Donald Trump's butt. And, but both of them, the strategy was identical. Right? The strategy was just identical.